Yeah, the thing that's changed, Stephen, is that the disturbances coming off of Africa are that much stronger. There's still all the dust. There's still the hostile upper level winds. All that is still in place. And as you'll see in a second, they're going to have to fight with that. But because the disturbances have more moisture and are more robust, they have a chance. So let's take a look at the map here, and you can see the three areas. First of all, we're just discounting the one up to the north. It's just a little disturbance, slight chance it might take on some tropical characteristics as it heads off into Nowheresville there in the Atlantic. Another one down here we'll take a look at, but this would just be beneficial if this does get a little development before it gets to the islands, which is obviously not likely at only 10%. All right, this one over here is the one that we'll look at, and it's a little bit complicated. It's not all one disturbance, so we have actually two. We have this one out here. Hurricane Center puts the X right there because that's going to be the dominant disturbance. But we also have this one over here, which is quite robust, which is the one we were thinking we would be watching. But this is actually going to be more of a moisture source as these two combine. So that's where we are right now. Let's look at it as kind of a photograph from space. The sun is up on that side of the world. And there you can make out the two separate disturbances, one right here, and then both of them are turning. You see there's actually some rotation in both cases. We can also make out to the north, up in here, there's milkiness up here. This is all the Saharan dust, and there is a lot of it that they're going to have to deal with. But right now, there is this band of moisture south of the dust. So there is a corridor over warm ocean water where this is going to have a chance because it just has ended up being far enough to the south. So you can kind of make out a system in here, and then over in here is another one, but it's just think of it a moisture source. Now watch what happens as we go forward in time here. You can look in the upper left there and see the day. We're just going to go a couple days till Wednesday, and what you can see is that the moisture from this back one here is kind of begin to wrap in to this one, and look at the dry. All this brown is dry up in here. So it's just got enough moisture to hold off that dust for a while and give it some kind of chance to develop. All right, so again, watching the time up here on the left, and we're going to go forward here in just a moment. But there you can see the dust, lots of dust. And what else do we have? We have those hostile, super strong upper-level winds tearing across here. So right now, it's just below all that. This is on Wednesday. Okay, now we'll go forward in time, and look at that. It's going to come kind of jam up into all that difficulty. So the question is, what's going to happen up in here over the weekend? Heading in the general direction of the Northeast Caribbean, but it's got a big gauntlet here that it's going to have to run. Now, sometimes when we look at these bands of upper-level winds, it's not quite as solid as it looks like there, and sometimes there's a break in the dust. Maybe, and some of the computer forecasts actually indicate that it is going to make its way through there. So they're a little bit all over the place. Here you can see 3 or 4 of the main models here. You see the European model, GFS, and then the Google AI model, and also the European AI model in the various colors. And you see they're all kind of scattered around. Look at Google up here, but there's Google over here as well. Generally, the weaker the system stays, the more likely it is to come into the northeastern Caribbean, which would be a fabulous thing. As Stephen was talking about, there's a terrible drought going on in Puerto Rico, and on many of those islands, they need the rain. So this would not be bad, a weaker system going in there with a lot of moisture. If it can somehow strengthen, then the upper level winds are more likely to pick it up and take it up in here. So we're just going to have to see as all this comes together, but there is a lot of hostility ahead. Okay, here's that other system in the Atlantic. There it is right there with the 20%, and they would actually like the rain in the southeastern Caribbean as well. There's the system. It's kind of a strung out tropical disturbance, tropical wave moving across there, and maybe that'll arrive in a few days and bring then some rain. All right, off to the Pacific we go. 3 systems here. But these two, this one over here and this one, are actually going to kind of get tangled up in here and just die out in the ocean. So there is no issue there. This is the one that Hawaii is going to have to watch closely. And let's look at this in real detail. This one is actually called an invest, meaning that it's organized enough that the National Hurricane Center can run its whole suite of fancy computer models on it, and we can get some more technical information. So out in the Central Pacific, they use a C out there. So this is called 93C. 90% chance in the next 7 days, but next 2 days, 50%. So good chance this will develop into at least a tropical depression. Only 25-mile-an-hour winds estimated at the current time. All right, now let's look at this in terms of what the models are saying. They're a little all over the place in terms of the impact on Hawaii. You see, if you look at the whole package here, I mean, there's definitely a threat to the Hawaiian Islands of this thing coming in there. As a matter of fact, the non-AI models, which is what you're looking at here, tend to want to bring it in the direction of the Big Island over the weekend or so. There's the consensus, right toward Hawaii Island there, and really all of the Hawaiian Islands. So, I mean, we're just going to keep that in our mind. Now, when you add in the AI models and look at the exclusive tropical threat graphic we have, it shifts the consensus kind of a little farther to the south, because the AI models, that's the Google one and the European one, want to be a little farther south. There's Google. Google, see, is concentrated south of the islands. Now, you would still know about it in the islands because the north side is more moist and it would affect the islands, but not in the direct way on that path. Notice the European AI is a little closer on average, but still south. But then when we look at the regular European model, very reliable, it's jam on the Hawaiian Islands. So this is definitely a threat. Next weekend hasn't even developed, so lots and lots of things can change here in the meantime. And that's where we are, guys. So both sides of the U.S. are lighting up. The real threat here is to Hawaii in terms of an impactful system over the weekend to very early next week. Looks like what that time frame would be.
Brian, so let's continue talking about the Pacific Basin and in Hawaii, because we were recently talking about Fausto. It made more of that northerly trajectory, and this one almost seems like it's going to take more of a southern path, which is when systems can become a little bit stronger. Do you see that happening, and what do you make of that?
Yeah, so the fact that this one is coming from the warm water. So the cool water in Hawaii is really kind of diagonal with the islands. Let me go forward in time here, and I can kind of draw that for you. So if, you know, there's a boundary there where the water gets quite cool, and it's more or less like this. So if a system comes up in here like that, it doesn't run into that cool water. If you get one coming this way, then it's over the cool water. So that's the difference, that angle difference. If you're going to get a strong hurricane in Hawaii, it almost always comes from the south. Now, when I say strong, I mean hurricane, right? I'm not talking about a Hurricane Iniki kind of hurricane, which came along like this and then made a hard right and went right up over Kauai. So it benefited from the super warm water down here. The water up around and just south of Hawaii is above 80 degrees, but not super warm. So the atmospheric conditions are not super ideal here. So we're there are forecasts for a hurricane approaching Hawaii in all of this, strong tropical storm or hurricane, but not a Category 4 hurricane or some kind of big hurricane like has happened a few times in the past.
Yeah, still early in the season, though, and the fact that Hawaii is in the conversation yet again, Brian, I guess we shouldn't be surprised given the El Nino influence that we have. Along those lines, just one more question for you. Over in the Atlantic, we talked about Puerto Rico. I'm just struck. San Juan has a July monthly rain average of more than 6 inches. Did not even pick up an inch of rain this past month, but it's not just been July. I'm wondering, with El Nino, likely that will continue to be the thing. Is the only way to get decent moisture over Puerto Rico these tropical waves? Why are we not seeing, let's talk about what Florida gets, where daily you can experience a sea breeze and you get storms that form over land, and that could help things in Puerto Rico, but we're not even seeing that.
Well, they have had that, but they do. It's not like it hasn't rained at all on the island. But the problem is that you have this dust, which has been persistent, and the strong upper level winds. So the dust dries out the atmosphere, and so the showers can't build as high, and you don't get as much rain out of them. So the combination of the dust and then these strong winds here, that anything that gets very tall just gets torn apart. And it really is tropical waves, the waves of moisture that come off of Africa. Most of them don't develop, right? We talk about the ones that develop into tropical storms or hurricanes or even tropical depressions. Otherwise, they don't get any notice. But they keep coming. Every few days, they come normally. And this year, they have been suppressed to the south and just so weakened and dried out by the upper level winds and the Saharan dust that they have missed Puerto Rico in large measure. So that's been the issue so far. We'll see now that stronger impulses from Africa are coming. Hopefully enough moisture will make it through. We're kind of run that gauntlet there to get to the islands and get them rain, because I imagine this is an issue on all of those Caribbean islands.
Yeah, certainly not just Puerto Rico. It's a good point. Okay, Bryan, appreciate all the insight this morning. Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross for us. We'll be watching throughout the afternoon. Thanks, Bryan.